Yeah, man. Shout out to our listeners in Philly.
And certain basketball podcasts on this network that have huge Philly fans as co-hosts.
Yeah. But just from an aesthetic point of view, like just aesthetically, like what logo do you think is the best? What logo do you enjoy looking at, even if it's your own team?
I'm going to take the Raiders out of it. I say the Green Bay Packers.
Just because it's so simple and you automatically know it?
And also, there are some colleges that like use that G too. So it's like, it's just, when I see that, I know, okay, business is about to pick up. And I'm quoting JR. But like, when you see the Green Bay Packers, you know, okay, it's about to get exciting. You're going to see something. Even like bad Green Bay Packer teams are really exciting.
Woo?
I'm gonna say the Titans just for more nostalgia reasons. It was the first team I played on in Pop Warner, and we pretty much copied their logo. So
that's a good element.
Every time I see the Titans, I'm like, oh man, I remember being 9 years old, putting that decal on my helmet. So I would go with that one.
Honestly, I think the three that come to my top of my head are the Green Bay, like you already said, the Raiders, which I should remove myself, and honestly, the Cowboys, just because of the star. Like, it's literally just a star, but you know exactly what that star
They're America's team, but none of us got a vote. I don't like America. No,
listen, man, I'm just glad the Lions finished top 2 in something.
I mean, the Cleveland Browns finished last.
Because
shout out to the Cardinals, my high school mascot, Lawndale Cardinals, Seahouse.
Yeah, man, honestly, the Browns is by far the worst logo.
And the Jets should be last, but it's Cleveland, so you kind of have to put Cleveland last, but it should be the Jets.
And then honestly, I hate to be this guy, but I also kind of like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers logo, and I've always liked that logo.
Because it's close to the Raiders. It's swashbuckling. They ripped off the Raiders.
Yeah, kind of.
You're like, oh, I can stand for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes I forget the Raiders are like pirates because I just think of them as Raiders, as like their own thing.
And Buccaneers are Raiders too, just lesser versions.
Who
stole a Super Bowl.
And our coach.
Shout out to Warren Sapp. Speaking of which,
transitions.
#transitions.
Finally, you're learning something. Damn, you put the man in the big chair and he plays up to his standards.
When you give me the ball in the fourth quarter and get out of my way.
Pete in high school?
All right, man. Why are you bringing up old stuff?
Oh shit, Pete got struck by lightning.
Not Pete's sophomore year, because I would have just pissed down my leg.
Kind of like Oregon quarterback Justin Herbert. He cried in the huddle as a freshman. And they're saying he's supposed to be a top quarterback next year. Oh, man. Funny.
All right, so I want to play Take or Tangent. For those of you who don't know, basically, I'm going to give you a storyline. You can give me a take. You can give me a tangent. Woo, if you want to pass, you can pass.
No pass.
No pass?
All right, no pass.
All right.
She's taking away your pass. But, yeah, so basically just keep it, kind of quick. And, yeah, just make it make sense.
Yeah.
All right. Touchdowns and Tangents Radio. Let's get into it. Okay, so the kickoff revisions. For those of you who don't know, we talked about it last week, but it's now official. The NFL is basically getting rid of wedge blocking. They're taking away the running start on kickoff. So there will be more kick returns for touchdowns this year. Do you have a take or a tangent on that? Because that's my opinion.
I'll go first. I'm going to say less touchdowns. But I'm going to say less touchdowns, more holding and clipping penalties.
Why is that?
Because more guys are going to be running into each other downfield. There's going to be, I feel like kick catch interference probably won't even exist anymore. But when it comes to plays like that, I just think it's going to be, since nobody's being blocked, it's going to be easier to kind of close gaps when you get downfield, especially on, kick return. And I mean, yeah, they don't get a running start, but at the same time, like, the return team, whatever they are, wherever they end up in place, like they're not saying, okay, this person's coming at me full speed. It's like they have to adjust now. They have to go get guys instead of just catching and releasing.
It's basically like a punt return now.
Yeah. So I feel like you'll get more. It's when you're doing something like that and you're chasing a guy down to block him versus he's just kind of running into you kamikaze full force or running by you or through you. It's easier for you to somehow clip him. It's easier for you to maybe get a hold if you're chasing him down and you hit him. It's. I feel like it's gonna be more like that. So I think it'll be less because more stuff's gonna get called back. Honestly, they're gonna ruin special teams this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's gonna be less kickoff returns for touchdowns. I mean, these guys on the kickoff team, I don't think they need that 10-yard or 5-yard head start. I mean, if they're in a 2-point, 3-point stance, the front line's got to go back 15 yards anyways to set their, well, I don't know what to call it now, but the wedge before. These dudes are getting 25 yards to get from their stance to these guys. I don't think it's going to affect it too much, but honestly, I don't know why the NFL just gets rid of kickoff. Just put it on the 20-yard line and let's start the game off. I mean, I get why they're not doing it, but at this point, you keep taking elements away from kickoff return. You're changing all these rules to make it safe. I mean, let's just cut the BS and let's just set the ball on the 20.
Then it just turns into like when your high school coach is literally just throwing the ball downfield in practice and everybody has to return.
Yeah.
Like the offensive line coach throws because he has a hose for an arm for some reason. All right.
Why do O-line coaches always have a hose for an arm?
You can't have even a two-person wedge?
You can't even have a two-person wedge.
That's crazy.
Wedge blocking
That's
is
crazy.
outlawed.
I definitely I think there's going to be less touchdowns because I think that's a benefit to the kickoff team.
There's less holes.
But the reason why I think there will be more is because now all you have to do is beat them around the corner and you're gone.
Like, how many guys are...
You just need to outrun that corner, hit it, you're good. It only takes one person to get out of their lane and they're gone.
That's true.
And it's also...
In my eyes, it's kind of like almost like when someone kicks a field goal because everyone's all bunched up together. It's easy to just get around the outside of all that mess and then just outrun everybody. That's how I see it.
So even with kick return, like for a missed field goal return.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, a missed field goal return.
I think to your point,
that'd be interesting.
I think there might be more in the beginning just because teams are going to start getting used to it, and then one team's going to figure it out.
Patriots probably.
Well, the other thing is you can only have 3 people back. So it's going to be
that's
a
weird.
9-person line versus 11-person line.
It'll turn into like 8-man football, and they do some type of weird reverse. It's going to look kinky.
Yeah, well, we'll see the first couple of weeks what teams do. I think with anything, they're going to adjust, and they'll figure it out.
I wish they would have went to like a trial period for it. Like, let's try it in the preseason and see how it looks because, I mean, we've already talked about it, but people earn their money on special teams. So you're essentially eliminating a bunch of positions.
Yeah.
Because there are people that just wedge block, and there are people that are just gunners. So
Kasim Osgood, perfect example.
You got players that are fullbacks, but all they play is that
gunner,
wedge buster.
Yeah.
You're the first line of defense. Hell, on Madden, I used to do that on kick return. Just put the fullback and maybe get an athletic offensive lineman, just run behind them. Only scored 3 times off that, but hey, it's fun.
Yeah, Woo used to do that until they realized that we needed him for every other part of the game.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, my foot hurts.
Like, hey, you can't play defense, you might get hurt. Hey, but go and do kickoff returns for us.
Knowing they're all dirty on special teams in high school.
Man. Like, come on. Kind of sense.
Saw a guy get his leg broke. It was just like...
Shout out Roosevelt.
All right, man. So, Marcus Peters, the Los Angeles Rams. Here's some Rams talk for you Rams fans out there on the station.
Shout out to Oakland.
Marcus Peters says it's time to pay Aaron Donald. He was MVP. Just pay him. So, do you guys have a take or a tangent on that? Just Aaron Donald, either Aaron Donald getting paid or either Marcus Peters calling it out and saying that he needs to get paid. Take it either way. Start with you, Woo.
Stats speak for themselves, man. Just pay the man. He's earned it.
Pay him because I'm tired of the big guys never getting love. It's bad enough like they're already trying to implement like blocking rules and all. Just like the fact that this dude is a freak of nature human being playing defensive tackle, like, and he's doing all this crazy stuff from an interior pressure standpoint, and he's really inconveniencing himself by playing defensive end in a 3-4, because anyone who's played in a 3-4 and you go from D tackle to defensive end, you know you're giving up sacks and you're pretty much taking on nothing but run support duties. And if your linebackers are trash, it really won't matter how good you do your job anyway. So it's like, for him, they got to pay him. Guys like him, Khalil Mack, they deserve to get paid. Like, the way they're changing up the league, you can't hit people certain places. You can't hit them anywhere. You can't hit them near a chair, anything like that. Yeah, shout out to Dr. Seuss. Like, it's just ridiculous. So pay these guys. They've already devalued the safety position.
Let me give you a tangent on this. This is where it is. This is what it is.
Pay Aaron Donald.
It's more than that. The reason
I hope
why
he goes to Cleveland if they don't pay
the
him.
reason why Marcus Peters is voicing this is because
He wants to get paid.
he's from the class after, which means his contract is going to be up next year, which means as soon as they play Aaron Donald, they can start working on his contract. So that's really what this is about.
That's good
Marcus Peters
business.
is like, let's
Help you, help me, help us.
pay him so we can
Quid
move
pro
on
quo.
and talk about me. Like,
Quid pro quo. A favor
and
for
I
a
don't
favor.
blame him for it. Like,
It's a favor for a
man.
favor. I'm helping you so you can help me down the line, bruh.
Because it
Like,
really,
Keith Talib is old. Marcus Peters is the future.
it really is common sense, though. I think
Pay your
that's-
best
that's the
player?
point. Yeah, and pay not just
Handsomely?
your big player. You're not just your best player, but probably the best player in the league, arguably top 5.
Defensively. Yeah.
All right. So Reuben Foster, we talked about it last week. His accuser basically said she made it all up. Now the DA says they don't have anything to charge him with. It is dismissed, and Foster returned to the field, I believe today or yesterday.
Yeah.
With the 49ers. So, do you have a take or a tangent on Reuben Foster returning?
I'll go. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent here, because I feel like the female who did this to him is a criminal and should be thrown in jail, because she's admitted she's done this to other people before, and yet no one's charged her. It kind of reminds me of the Brian Banks situation, where he was a top high school prospect. He maybe could have went to USC, but he had offers. Whatever. His whole life was ahead of him. This chick lies. Her and her mom concocted a story pretty much saying, oh, yeah, Brian Banks raped me, and he actually didn't. And she was underage, too. He pretty much went to jail for, about 10 years or so? Lost pretty much his athletic prime. Had a lot taken away from him. And never really got a chance to get his life back. So, in situations like that, especially with this Reuben Foster cat, and I'll be the first one to admit, I was wrong. Like, his anger issues are a problem, but on the same token, I don't believe in demonizing someone twice or just pretending it's all good and we can go back to normal once you try to ruin their reputation based off a lie, because I know exactly how that feels. So, when it comes to this, and they even said it, like, the damage is done with. Like, he'll never really get his reputation back. And the team believed there wasn't enough information to even go to trial. And the DA pretty much just ran with this to try to make it a big, huge case. And I think that's really disgusting and wrong. And all parties involved should be held accountable. The DA should, be up for review or something like that. The person who accused him needs to be in jail. You can't keep doing that. Like, if you don't punish people who do stuff like that, you set a precedence that hurts the victims and creates new victims in terms of people who are innocent and being accused of something. Because all it takes is an accusation to destroy someone's life. So, yeah. I hope he continues his career. Him and Fred Warner are going to be an insanely great combination on that defense. And now I'm actually kind of scared of the Niners defense, because it's him, Fred Warner. The edge rushers are decent. And then you got their defensive line, Eric Armstead.
All right, we get it.
Solomon Thomas.
You're a fan of it. Okay, he's back. Thank you.
First off, I'm not.
All right, go ahead.
Don't
Boo.
you ever call me a fan of the Niners? I will stab you.
Well, that's sure what it sounded like.
It's like it's all Pac-12 defensive line.
Take
Two Oregon
John
guys
Lynch's
and one
hand
Stanford
off your
guy.
thigh, please.
Wow. Okay, you know what? Hey Pete. That one's for you.
All right, you're getting a little thunder happy today.
On your birthday.
It's
well,
not even raining.
I mean, We're raining insults on each other.